Everyone, this is Latasha Blanton from the Real South Africa Travel and Tourism. And you're going to have the opportunity to travel with Phil Scott to
sunny South Africa. You guys are going to have the opportunity to come to Johannesburg, and you guys are going to be coming to Durban. And we're going to set it up perfectly. It's going to be like a luxury experience for you guys. At the same time, you're going to be getting some culture. And of course, you're going to get an opportunity to talk to Phil, hang out with Phil, and get his views on Africa and South Africa.
You're also going to get an opportunity to explore the lifestyles here that are available in South Africa. And we're going to do all that for you in an amazing 10 days. We do hope that you go to the website and book, because we do look forward to seeing you here.
Absolutely. Our website is therealsouthafrica.com. Go there, scroll down. You'll see a picture of Phil, and just go ahead and book there. So we'll see you here in what we like to call sunny South Africa.
9 states have decided that they want to ban homeless people from being in public. Now, just from that title alone, when I hear that, I'm like, well, if you're homeless and you're outside, isn't outside the public? So where are they going to go? Are they going to go off into the woods or something like that? Are going to disappear in the thin air? Like, where are they supposed to go? Now, specifically, it is being spearheaded by that of Governor Gavin Newsom of California. And in a nutshell, this is what the case is comprised of. It says liberal governor, which is Gavin Newsom, demands Supreme Court allow him more power to remove homeless camps as San Francisco business exodus gathers pace. It also says comes after 9th U.S. Circuit Court of Appeals ruled that removal breaks the 8th Amendment ban on cruel and unusual punishment. Says Supreme Court agreed on Friday to examine whether the ruling goes too far. All right. So again, Governor Gavin Newsom of California, he is leading the charge on that, as San Francisco is in California. And San Francisco has a lot of businesses. They said like 100 since the pandemic. And then, of course, with the homeless population being on the rise, of course, there's homeless people sleeping on sidewalks and blankets and tents in front of these businesses. And if you've ever been to San Francisco, you know, at one point in time, it was a very nice place to live, very expensive, very artsy and things like that. And so, yes, people, tourists, and even people who live there like to walk down the street with their latte and like to go into some of these businesses. But it's kind of hard to do when you have homeless people sleeping on the street. But again, where are they supposed to go? Where? Then, not to be gross, to take it a step further, homeless people aren't allowed to use the restroom in people's establishments, so they go where they're at. And yeah, it creates a health concern, because they said in Los Angeles a couple of years back, I think it was like the bubonic plague or something like that was coming back due to being homeless and the things that they leave and all that other stuff, where it's rats and a whole bunch of other critters just kind of running around. And downtown Los Angeles, and if you've ever been to downtown Los Angeles, there's a copious amount of businesses there and things to do and all that. And so, of course, people walking down the street, they don't want to see all of that and definitely don't want to risk contracting something, right? But this is kind of going to sound kind of weird, but I have a good point in saying this. I'm glad that the homeless people are on the street, not because that's the best place for them. I'm glad that they're there in the public so that everybody, business owners, politicians, and anybody that has the power to do something about it, they can see them. Because if they're hiding, then it's like out of sight, out of mind, right? I'm glad that they can see that instead of helping American citizens or Californians that are homeless, and that they decide to help the migrants, because they're in California. Gavin Newsom signed in the law that they're going to help migrants no matter what their status is, to the tune of $2.6 billion a year. So I'm glad that Gavin Newsom is being taken to task with, not wanting the homeless people on the street and that businesses are closing up. And I'm glad that he's having to also be taken to task. Well, you spending all that money on migrants or people who shouldn't be here. But you got homeless Americans, California, sleeping on the street. So, the Supreme Court is going to decide whether it's constitutional to make a ban, because, again, where are they going to go? But instead of going to the court and asking them to allow them to ban people, homeless people, from sleeping in public, why not just build some shelters? You got $2.6 billion a year to help the migrants, and you should have $2.6 billion a year to help migrants. Now, I know they'll say, well, they are trying to help them. They're putting up in hotels, but you still got people sleeping on the street. So clearly you ain't helping everybody, but you said all migrants, regardless of what their immigration status is, are going to benefit from health care. Health care is expensive. So you said all migrants. Why not help all homeless people? That sounds like a no-brainer to me. But it all remains to be seen whether they'll be able to ban homeless people from public. But I agree with the Constitution that it is cruel and unusual, because to ban them means what? That almost like when you ban something, it sounds like they have other options. Oh, you're right. I won't sleep on the street. I'll go in this fancy hotel, like they do in New York. They put them up in fancy hotels. And in California, in the United States in general, especially California, the most homeless population is black people. Which y'all remember they were supposed to be talking about a reparations study, and ain't nobody said nothing else about it since. But surely Gavin Newsom had the audacity to announce that they're going to be taking care of all migrants, but all black Californians are waiting for him and his commission to say whether they going to give reparations to black Californians. They ain't said a peep. But you sure don't want homeless people sleeping on the street in San Francisco, which I guarantee you is predominantly black. So anyway, y'all tell me what you think about that. And before you leave, if you can go to the AfricanDiasporaNews.org and invest in the app that we have built just for you, I would love and appreciate you. And before you leave, if you can subscribe to this channel if you haven't already, and to my channel, The Demetra Kaye Show,